Hey guys, it's Karrie and I am back with another weekly chat video for you today, and I decided to wear my goggle glasses on today. That's what somebody once told me they look like was a pair of goggles, but I felt like I needed to show them some love today, so I decided to wear them. I have several different topics to talk about today. My eBay week has been like a roller coaster this week. It's had some ups, it's had some downs. There's some fashion stuff that I want to talk about, how it relates to YouTube videos that I watched, and I kind of want to hear your opinion on the topic because I have my own opinion. And then I want to, let's see, I'm looking. I wanted to talk about a comment that I received that somebody got offended, so just a bunch of different stuff, and then of course I'll show you the puppies at the end of the video. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I want to mention right off the bat, even though I've already talked about some other stuff, but as I'm getting into the details, I wanted to say that I was able to meet my friend Matthew for lunch last Saturday, and I talked his ear off. I felt kind of bad for him later. I'm like, I probably shouldn't have talked that much, but I did. But I had a great time meeting him, so thank you, Matthew, for having lunch with me. I really appreciate that, and I really enjoyed our talks, and I am sorry for talking so much. But anyway, I wanted to get that out there first because I had a great time. Then let's go ahead and get into the eBay week. I've got some stuff to show you as well that I brought out, but so this has been, like I said earlier, a roller coaster of an eBay week. I sold, let me look really quick, I want to say, yeah, I wrote it down, 9, excuse me, I sold 9 items as of right now, as of actually Friday night. I haven't sold any as of Saturday yet, but 9 items as of Friday night. So I was thrilled beyond measure by selling those 9 items. They were all paid for. There was one item I didn't think I was going to get paid. So this is part of the roller coaster. So Sunday night, somebody made me an offer for a Madewell sweatshirt that I just wasn't wearing. And so I had an idea in mind of what I wanted for the price. I had specific, like a particular range, and the person offered me right in the middle of that range, actually on the higher end of what I was wanting. So I accepted it immediately. Literally, it was the length of time as the offer popped up on my notifications to the point that I accepted the offer. So it was quick, probably less than 30 seconds, if the most. And so that was Sunday night. And then by Tuesday morning, I had not received any payment for that sweatshirt. And so I sent the lady an email. I mean, I didn't know if it was a lady. I'm guessing it was a lady. And I said, I would love to ship this to you, but I'm still waiting on payment. And I've debated whether or not to actually email somebody that hasn't paid. Some people say, that's just going to make them mad. Don't bother doing it. Just leave it alone. But this year it's kind of like, I feel like I have been plagued with non-payments really a lot last year. And so I think that is incredibly rude to make an offer or buy something and the person accepts it and then the buyer is not paying for it. That is so rude. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to send an email, not be rude about it, but just basically say, would love to ship it, but I'm waiting on payment. So sometime on Wednesday, I got an email from the buyer, and I took a screenshot of her email and one of my response. Now, my response may be considered rude. I will leave that up to you guys. My intention was not to be rude, but to be stern, because this is business. This is not a charity. So the email said, "Hello. Thank you for reaching out. I have been looking for this top for ages. Would it be okay if I submitted payment Friday morning?" And I'm like, you bought it Sunday night. No, Friday morning is not acceptable. And I realized that the unpaid assistant was going to turn on, and it did turn on Tuesday as well. I forgot to mention that. So that turned on Tuesday. So I knew the buyer had 4 more days after Tuesday to pay for it before the case would be closed out. And so I was like, that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So technically eBay was going to give the person until Saturday to pay for it. So I was like, you know what? I could have said, yeah, no problem, but this was my response. And again, some people may think this is rude, but it's what I decided to do. I said, my intention is not to be unreasonable about your payment request, but you purchased this item on Sunday, January the 22nd, 2017. Payment is expected at the time of purchase, and it has been well over 2 days since I accepted your offer. I have been burned in the past by buyers who have asked to pay later and they've never made payment. Please submit payment today. Thanks. So that was done on Wednesday. I never heard back from the buyer whatsoever, and Friday morning rolls around and she doesn't pay for it. So I was like, I knew she wasn't going to pay for it. She had no intention of paying for it. And then I decided Friday night, it was probably around 9, maybe not that late, I don't know. It was Friday night. I just sent her an invoice. I'm gonna say, I'm going to try one more time and to get payment. So I sent an invoice. And, you know, whatever time it was, it doesn't matter. And then about 10 o'clock, she paid for it. So I was like, finally, I did get paid for that. So that's one thing. Then another item sold on Tuesday. I shipped it Wednesday morning, and then I get an email, and I'm trying to find the email really quick, from the buyer, or from someone whose account it was, I should say. And this was sent late Wednesday night. I think it came in at 10:11 p.m. Central Time, or my time. And it said, this item was purchased with a stolen credit card. Please cancel and don't ship the item. And I'm like, too late. I've already shipped it because I ship very quickly. If it's bought, say, Tuesday, I ship Wednesday mornings. Or if it's bought whatever day, I ship like the next morning. If it's on the weekend, like a Saturday, and somebody pays for it, I try to get it over there on a Saturday. So I actually called PayPal first before I emailed the person back. And I just said, am I covered with this? Because I've lost my item. And if their credit card was stolen, that is horrific. I mean, and horrible. So I was like, but it's not my fault, and I've lost an item. So PayPal said I am covered. They said probably what will happen is the person will file a claim. We will freeze the money in your account for a little bit of time, not long, and then we'll release it because you are covered. I'm like, thank goodness. So I emailed the person right back after that PayPal phone call on, I think, Thursday morning. And so I emailed the person back and I said, I am sorry, but I shipped the item Wednesday morning. And just left it like that. Never heard from the person since. The person's account had over 300 feedback, the feedback that people can leave you, and they were positive. And the account was linked to her PayPal account. It was this person's account. So if somebody stole her credit card, they also logged into her account and bought it as well. This is what I suspect. I don't know it to be true or not. I suspect it was somebody that was living in the home with a person. Maybe it was a roommate, a daughter, a son, I don't know. But I don't think the credit card was stolen like out of her wallet. I think somebody got access to her eBay account and bought the item that lives in her home because it was her address I shipped it to. So anyway, she's not responding back and not filed a claim at this point in time. Let me quickly look. I'm still stuck. I mean, I'm on eBay. We got some eBay stuff to talk about. So I also experienced the week of really low eBay offers, and I brought an item out just as an example. This is a Coach boyfriend watch that I've had a really long time. I love the watch, but after getting the silver Burberry watch for Christmas, I decided that I don't need two silver watches that are metal. Or stainless steel, and that I need to get rid of one, or not really get rid of it, but sell one. And since I got the Burberry for Christmas, I'm not going to sell that one, so I decided to sell this one, and I listed it for $50. I'm not really sure if that is a good price or not. The price of this watch originally, I want to say, was $250, so whatever that math works out to be, is that like 20% of the original price? I don't know if that's true or not. I thought I would list it for that price. Somebody offered me $10 for this, and I literally laughed, and I went, it's like, no. I just emailed them back and said, I hit decline and went, no thank you. And so I would be willing to accept a little bit less than $50, but not much less, you know, not $10. So then it was just a bunch of other really, really low offers this week. And I'm going to tell you where I made a huge mistake. And I wanted to bring another item out to show you. And this is my Speedy, Louis Vuitton Speedy 30 bag. I talked about this in another chat video where I was listing it on eBay. And I said, I'm not 100% sure. I listed it for $800. I think I said that. But because of the fact that I was unsure if I really wanted to sell this bag, I put an $800 price on it. And I did say I think $800 is too much for a used Speedy when, you know, a brand new one is not that much more. But it is in good condition. So I knew I wasn't going to get $800. So I was getting several offers, I mean a lot of offers, and I kind of regret not accepting one of them now for $650. I think that potentially is a fair price. I was hoping to get $700. That was the number in my head that I wanted to get, was $700. And so not only do I have the bag, I've got the dust bag it goes in, the Louis Vuitton dust bag. I've got the actual shopping bag. I kept that it came in. I've got the box that they packed it up in. I have there's the lock. I've never removed it. I've opened it but not really taken it off. I have the key to it. I have the original receipt to it. As you can see, the handles are patina, is that a right word? I mispronounced it, but there's patina happening on the handles, but it's not really dark, but that is normal. They're not that stark white leather anymore. But we got a little bit. There is you're not going to be able to see it, but there is a minor stain in the corner of the bag. It looks like potentially it was a little bit of maybe lip balm that had gotten on it from a lip brush. I do not carry any type of pens in my handbag that don't have a cap on them. So if it's like the clicky ink pens, I do not carry those because those get clicked and there's pin marks. I have no pin marks in the bag. I've got, I mean, if somebody wanted to see it, there's the code or whatever that's called that proves where it was made. This was made in the U.S. But anyway, I've got, the only thing that I do not have from the original purchase was the leather cord that they tied around, I think it was leather, that they tied around the box. So here is the mistake I made. Because of the fact that in my mind I was like, $800 is too much, I decided to reduce the price to $700 because I thought that was more of a fair price. As soon as I did that, literally all of the offers that were $600 to $650 dried up. And now the offers are $400, $500, $550. And I was like, I made a huge mistake in lowering that price of that bag because when I did that, the offers started becoming lower. And I was like, no, I'm not going to accept those prices. I will keep that bag before I give it away for $400 to $500, at least at this point in my in the selling of that bag. So I will tell you, I did go back onto eBay and raise the price back up to $800. Whether or not that is fair, it's you know, it's my decision. I'm hoping that some new people will come and look at the bag, and just one of those people will at least make an offer of $650 because I probably would sell it for that. So anyway, I think that is pretty much it with the eBay stories this week. That has been a lot of them, and I'm going to move on to, oh, one other thing. Oh, it wasn't the end. I'm sorry. I finally sold the Christian Louboutin shoes. Oh, I'm so thankful those sold. And they are gone out of my life. And those Christian Louboutin shoes were, I'm going to say, probably my number 1 and 2, because I bought 2 of them, most regrettable fashion purchases. This was, and the reason why I wanted to talk about that was because it's going to lead me into something else that I want to talk about. They where it was more of an idea in my mind of what I wanted, and I really didn't want the item. So I saw something on YouTube recently where this happened to somebody else, and it was the fact, at least sort of like that. And it was, I don't know if any of you watch, her channel used to be called Pretty Shiny Sparkly, and then she just renamed it to Christina Brawley. Bray, I think is her last name, and Christina's with a K. She is a doctor and does YouTube as well. So after she, I think, did something with her being a doctor, whether it was, you know, finishing up her residency and passing her medical boards, whatever it was, she decided that she was going to buy herself an Hermes Birkin handbag. Very, very expensive handbag. And so she was able to finally get one. And I watched that video. She was thrilled about the handbag. That was a few months ago. And then she did a video that was like best and worst handbag purchases of 2016, and the Birkin was on the best list and it was on the worst list. And she did sell the bag. She was like, I'm gonna probably sell the bag. And I follow her on Instagram and watched her Instagram story, and she sold the Birkin. So, and that's kind of, I mean, to a smaller extent, when I bought the Christian Louboutin shoes, I really, really thought I wanted them, but when I got them, it was like, these are not for me. And I think that handbag, that Birkin, was like the same thing for her. It was this idea of something that she wanted, and when she finally got it, she was not finding herself using that particular handbag. And it was such an expensive handbag that she was like, I may be putting a little bit of words in her mouth, but it's like, I can't justify keeping that around when I'm not using it. And so, have you guys, I'm sure everybody's done that, but if you want to share something that you thought you had an idea that you really, 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 really wanted this thing, and then when you got it, it was like, I really didn't want that after all. And if you want to share one of those, I would love to chat with you about it. And so, some other things, speaking of Hermes, I have no desire, I'm going to say this at this point in time, no desire to ever own an Hermes handbag whatsoever. It's just not something, number one, I'd be willing to pay for, and number two, they are beautiful, but it's just not something that I want. So I just want to throw that out there. No plans to get it. But if any of you watch Claire Chanel from her channel and blog, or I Am Choquette, I may be mispronouncing that. She is very raw, very funny, very non-edited on her YouTube channel, and on her Snapchat, very, very funny. So she has been looking for a Kelly bag, for an Hermes Kelly, for, I think she said, a year and a half, something like that. Pardon me. And so one day, she and her husband were going to different Hermes stores in and around London, trying to find a Kelly. Basically, she said you just go in there and every day and say, do you have a Kelly? And she said every time she asks that question, they laugh at her. And I wanted to kind of put that out there as something that I find interesting. Why is it a brand that is so coveted and so wanted when they are so, I'm going to use the word rude. I have never been in one of their stores, so I really don't know what their customer service is like. But it's an extremely difficult product to get a hold of, the Birkin and the Kelly. Or I should say products. And a lot of times they laugh at you when you walk in and say, this is what Claire said, that was her experience. I'm quoting her. And it just amazes me that why do people want these things when it is, I mean, it'd be one thing if it was just difficult to get to, but it sounded like there's bad customer service and then they laugh at you about it. Like, you don't deserve this type thing. So if any of you have thoughts on that, I'm just curious. I mean, there's a lot of things that I have wanted that are difficult to get a hold of. But I don't know that I want something where someone is rude to me or laughs at me when I ask if I can buy one. That's just my thoughts. Again, no, I have no desire to get one of those handbags from that brand. I may potentially get a scarf from the brand, but that's all I can, you know, say at this point in time. There was something else I saw. Let me, I got a couple of more, I got a few more things to talk about. Why not? I was watching a haul that Anna Saccone Jolie did. You guys, I'm going to pause right here. You guys may be able to hear the puppies whining. They're in another room and they're not happy about it. But anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, back to Anna's haul. She was doing a luxury kids haul, and she did say that she got every single item on sale, which I applaud her for doing. But I don't have any children, so I'm really not the person who should have an opinion on this, but I still do. Is why would you spend a lot of money on something when, number one, the child is growing, they're not going to be able to wear it very long, and number two, kids play hard and they're going to wear it out a lot quicker. She did say that she has noticed whenever she has bought an item that's been luxury or more quality, it lasts much longer than the other stuff. And so that's just something as well that, can you guys hear them? It's probably Coco. Anyway, sorry about that. I need to go check on them. And anyway, they kind of messed up where I was going with the story. But anyway, it's just like, that's just one thing I have. There's no hate whatsoever that I'm trying to put on Anna whatsoever. If she wants to do that, that's her money. I don't care. But I just thought it was interesting buying luxury goods for children when they are going to grow out of them really quickly. I need to go check on the puppies, and then I'll bring them out and we'll just wrap up the video. Anyway, there was a couple more things, but it's no big deal, and it's already been a long video. So let me go check on the puppies. I have the puppies, and I'm going to show them to you really quickly because they are squirming like you would not believe, and I have them both in my lap right now. So here's Chanel. There she is. At least I think this is Chanel. Yeah. Oh man, this is bad. I'm always looking at their noses. So here she is. I'm just going to show you really quickly because I know this has been a long video, but she is getting so big, and she's doing really, really well. Oh my goodness, Coco is squirmy right now. So here she is. Here's Coco. She's not liking this. One thing this week that I noticed about Coco is that the very tip of her nose, she's not going to cooperate so you guys can see. It is getting really light in color, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope it doesn't change colors because that's how I tell them apart a lot of times. And also, though, she is smaller, and then their personalities are very different. But here's Coco, but she's not going to cooperate, so you can see the nose. But it's getting, I mean, a little bit lighter, not extremely. I don't think it's going to get like Chanel's at all, because if it was, she'd been born that way. But anyway, I just noticed that this week that her nose was getting lightening up, and I went, that's interesting. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye, guys.